Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Anina, can we also think about, I don't know if we have anything lined up in June, possibly La Semana for June or early December. It would have to be probably that first week of December.
For the St. Martin one, is that?
Yeah.
So June, we have already one, and I'm actually gonna, when I go over my update, I'm gonna ask digital and social if we could add another one, because we have another one for San Francisco potential on that. But December would absolutely work.
Let's pencil in, and I'll let them know that July and November were taken already.
So November, I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm waiting for an update from Beatrice. She said she would get something to me on Friday and she didn't, but
Okay.
So let's, yeah.
Okay.
I should know pretty quickly, and then I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good.
Everyone wants to do the fams like right now.
Well, it's like for us, it's we have funds, right? And so, yeah.
How's everyone?
Good to see you guys.
Good. I'm not really sure why my video's not working though. I might need to restart. Has anybody ever heard of like your battery being really low and that's why the video doesn't work?
No?
Okay. Well, I might restart quickly.
Okay. Letting people in. Forgot the waiting room is set up. Hi Josh. Looking tired.
Very tired.
We have some first timers on our call tonight. That's not normally.
Oh my God, that was so inappropriate. I'm very sorry.
We get started in a couple minutes. I think I also invited, I'm going to admit her right now, just so you guys know, I invited Anina invited Janelle to join to give us a quick overview of the FAM. I thought that'd be really fun for all of us to hear from her for a few minutes, how that went. So she's in the waiting room right now. See, I think we have everyone except for Kate, Caitlin, and Carolyn, right?
Kate said she'd be a little late.
Yeah, I saw that. So we'll just wait a couple minutes and then I'll let Janelle in and she can give us an update, and then we'll like move through the agenda as usual. But feel free to talk amongst yourselves for a moment. Or not at all.
Oh, South Africa, Josh.
It's great. It's getting a little chilly because it's getting into winter, and I'm struggling to find a conducive flight home. My flights home keep changing in mid-May, so I don't know if when I'm gonna get home or how I'm gonna get home. Maybe I'll just make this my new home because it's pretty hard to get back.
Wow.
Hopefully that'll change though. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I just picked the wrong carrier. I mean, I flew around Delta using KLM, and so SkyTeam is pretty much the worst to get to Southern Africa. I'd say One World is probably the best. So I probably just picked the wrong alliance, but I wanted to try to maintain my platinum status. But think it bit me in the butt.
Mm.
I don't even want to talk about status. I just want to cry thinking about all the the years of hard work I put in to get to executive platinum with American. And first of all, I moved, and American's not really my best choice out of Portland now. And second of all, obviously,
No, Mana, it is, because Alaska and American are together
Right.
now.
yeah, I know because of Alaska, but it's a
And
whole-
Qatar just joined, so like,
yeah,
you got that as well.
I know.
That happened on April 1st.
Yeah. Ugh. All right, Caitlin's here. Looks like she's connecting to audio, so I don't want to keep us too delayed. So as I said, I invited, or I should say Anina invited Janelle to join our meeting. Janelle was the host for the last Millennials in Travel Fam at the Belmont Charleston. And you probably will notice another new face in our meeting today. I'll introduce Kim as well. Kim Barber is joining our national team. Very excited. I'll do a proper introduction after Janelle shares about the fam with us. But Kim was also on the fam too. So she can also chime in and share some comments. So I'm going to go ahead and let Janelle in and then let her share a bit with us. And then we'll move on with the rest of our agenda as usual. So, hi, Janelle.
Oh, let's see.
How are you?
Hey, good.
Thank you so much for joining us today. This is our national leadership team. And as Anina explained, we were just really excited to hear from you how our first FAM went in 2021. And just if you have any feedback you want to share with all of us, we'd love to hear it.
Sure, it was a great event. I know the Belmont was like so excited to have people, and obviously MIT, it was exciting to be able to showcase and be their first FAM after the pandemic, so that was great. There were a few agents who actually reached out in that area that might be interested in starting an MIT there, so Monica, I'll get with
Great.
you about that. Because I wasn't sure how many agents are there in Charleston or in that vicinity, but I guess there's a few. So yeah, so that was good. It was good exposure. Ike with Visit Charleston was super helpful. I guess they have direct flights now from LA, which I didn't know about. So there's a JetBlue flight from LA to Charleston, and they're working on one to San Diego, allegedly. So that was really good to hear. Just the connection will make things so much easier. And overall, the flow, everything went really well. So thank you, Anina, and obviously Natalie and Brenna with Belmont for making it really easy for us. But everyone loved it. They raved. So it was a really good experience.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And I know you wrote a nice report that Anina has that we'll be sharing and sharing, I think, the blog across some of our distribution channels. Does anyone have any questions or want to know anything more from Janelle while she's joining us tonight? No? No one? No questions?
I thought it was really interesting when you said, Janelle, in your email that it got kind of emotional at some point too, right? Of just being together after this horrible 2020. And I think that's a beautiful story to tell also on our social media, I think, because we all want to go out and travel again, right? And so I like that.
Yeah, it was interesting. Brenna from the Belmont, I mean, if you guys have met her or know her, she's just like this ball of energy and just nonstop from the morning site tour to the, we did like a dolphin sail out on the harbor, and then even just like at night, but like we were at lunch and she was just like she was like literally, I don't know how much this means to me. It's just so good to be around people, but also it was like a really good group. Kim's here. I see Kim now. So Kim was there on our FAM, and then a couple other agents, one from New York, one from North Carolina, and then myself and Heather from San Diego. So it was a good mixture, and it was interesting to get more exposure out there, I think, for different areas where we don't have as much presence, but to still be relevant. And yeah, I think it was just really well received. And obviously, the Belmont welcomes any collaboration. So if there's any opportunities for maybe a happy hour or something that we could do, like a Charleston theme, that would be great. But yeah, it was great. It was just really, really lovely.
Very cool. Well, thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, and thanks for hosting, Janelle, or being the host for
Yeah.
MIT.
Yeah,
For
you
sure.
did a fantastic job on the social media. Set a great example for our future hosts going forward.
I felt like I was like bothering everyone, and then like having to like remind everyone how to spell millennials was like a thing.
Oh, it was
Two
great.
ends.
Two ends. I know.
Yeah, I think
That
we
was
should
like
do
a
that.
thing, but I kept reminding everyone like almost every transfer. I'm like, you guys remember to tag me. So
Yeah.
so it was good. But I think, obviously the more we get it out there, it'll be good. But I think everyone did a good job.
Yeah. I thought the posts were great. So thank you for that.
Thanks.
Thanks for everything you did and for joining the fam, and continue to spread the word. Anina's worked hard on some incredible fams coming up later in the year. So lots of other opportunities on the horizon. So thank
Yes.
you once
Awesome.
again.
Thank you, guys.
Kim, anything that you would want to add on the subject of the fam, or any other questions for Janelle while she's still with us tonight?
Yeah, no, it was great. Janelle did a good job of reminding everybody about posting. I think it was a sort of an older millennial crowd on our fam. So Janelle did really good. Sorry, my dog's barking. But it was really good. Like Janelle said, Brenna and Ike were fantastic, and Brenna just, I think we all were. It was kind of everybody's first fam post-COVID. Actually, I think Heather from San Diego, it was her first fam ever. So we kept telling her like, this is a really great millennial group. And hopefully you can keep coming on fams like this, but don't expect like this great of a group on every fam you go on, because it was really good. So really well organized and put together.
Very cool. And I'm sure Belmont will appreciate that feedback too. We'll be sure to share that with them. So thanks for that. And on that same note, if there's any feedback you would have on things that we could do next time, whether it's with that social media, is there a better way that we could help to encourage everyone to do social media so the host doesn't feel like they're constantly nagging or things like that? Any ideas you have are always welcome. So let Anina know for sure if you have any suggestions for our future fam, so we can collectively just continue to improve and continue to offer these fam programs. So very excited that happened. So thank you, Janelle, for joining us this evening. And unless you have anything else you'd like to add, you can go ahead and sign off, but thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
It was really great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle.
Thank you,
Bye,
Janelle.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, on to our regularly scheduled programming. I see Carolyn joined us. Hi, Carolyn. You survived the launch of the new flight, so you're here. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I know I just spoke in front of ASTA Portland chapter.
Very
That's
cool.
why I was a little late about it. So it's still going, but we're doing good.
Oh, good. Well, congrats. That was a big event for you. So great job. So I'm going to move through the agenda, and I'm not going to share my screen because it's just a blank agenda. And as I said before, we'll just kind of go through and everyone will have their chance to talk. So I'll just kind of call on people one at a time, and look forward to hearing from you, for a few minutes with your updates. But before I dive into, I'm gonna start off the meeting with some of the internal operational updates and a quick overview of Asana. But before I do that, I want to formally welcome Kim Barber to the team. Yay! Everyone's like silent clapping. I love it.
Thank you.
So Kim has been a longtime fan and member of Millennials in Travel. So it's incredible for us to have her join the team. She will join us as the National Manager of Exclusive Benefits. I know we've said in the past, you know, one of the key things about Millennials in Travel is finding ways to offer value to our members, and the Exclusive Benefits Program is possibly one of the biggest and most important ways for us to do that. So we really needed a strong leader in that position, and I'm really confident that we found that in Kim. So Kim, I would like to go ahead and just turn it over to you to just share a little bit about yourself and to welcome you to the team.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I've been in travel for about 12 years now. Various roles, started by working in Australia and New Zealand for some tour companies, and then came back to Michigan. I think I'm maybe the only East Coast or sort of on this call. So came back to Michigan, worked for a storefront travel agency for a while, and then started my agency about 6 years ago now. And I also work part-time I'm in Lansing, which is the capital of Michigan, but it is quite small. So I work part-time in our little regional airport for United and Delta. I represent both of them as well. So yeah, I've sort of been involved from afar. I know I think our closest chapter is Chicago. So not a whole lot of involvement from me historically, but I was excited to see this position, and I'm excited to get more involved. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. We're excited too. Kim will work directly with Kate to expand our membership benefits program. And we already have a lot of ideas that we've bounced back and forth. But of course, any ideas that you all have are greatly appreciated. So when it comes to the exclusive benefits program, just think of special discounts, offers, or opportunities that we can offer our members that they might not be able to get otherwise. And then you can pass that on to Kim, and she'll explore it as a viable option and hopefully build up our exclusive benefits program. So we'll look forward to seeing how that evolves in the coming days, weeks, months, and years.
Kim, I'll connect with you also, because I can I'll share like things that we've done in the past. I mean, we've had some type of exclusive benefits for since we started. And so I can kind of talk about the history and see where we can like reinvigorate things. I mean, we've even had like discount for like luggage where we raffled off fueled luggage. And so we've had a wide variety of benefits, but we just didn't have anybody to manage the program. And so things would fall off. So it's really exciting to have you on board to kind of spearhead this again. Because again, Monica said there's a lot of opportunity. And I think also working with Elizabeth, who's working with other organizations, there could be opportunities, with the Travel Institute. We had like 15% off at one point for travel or the training programs. So I think you'll be working a lot with kind of like everyone in some way.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm happy to chat with you another time, and we can kind of go over what is and is not still applicable.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I indicated that would be the best way for her to get started is to look at what our current offers are. But it would also be good to know what we've done in the past that might not currently be on our site and on that page, so that she doesn't, so Kim, you don't spin your wheels seeking out an opportunity that we know doesn't work. And then also, we did discuss how there's going to be a lot of overlap across the positions, particularly with Elizabeth in some of those industry opportunities. So welcome, Kim. I'm so excited to have you. All right. So next, I'm going to take you through a little bit of Asana. Michelle, I am so grateful to you for introducing us to this. It's been a great tool so far. Has everyone had a chance to log in and at least look at it or start to use it? Has anyone not? Zach, maybe not, because I think I just added you. Carolyn, perhaps you dabbled a little, but not much. Elizabeth, I don't know if you've gone in and looked at it yet. No, okay.
I did for a few seconds, but I can't say that I've been dabbling. So
it's kind of one of those things where the best way to learn is to just go in and start playing with it. And as any sort of project management platform, the more you use it and the more you put in, like the more useful it's going to be for you. going forward, we want to use this to basically manage all facets and projects within millennials in travel. So, Michelle introduced us to this idea, hey, check this out. And now we've gotten from that to the point of this is what we're all using going forward. So it's going to be part of our operations and procedure from here on out. So I'm going to share my screen and just show you kind of a quick overview of what I've done, just to set up the teams. And if you have any questions, maybe jot them down, and then we can come back, and because I might mention it while I'm doing this overview. And I will preface this by saying I'm learning Asana as well. I've just kind of done a quick self-taught deep dive into the platform in the last couple of weeks, but I too am still learning how it works. So I'll do my best here. But again, the best way, is definitely going to be to go in and just start playing around with it. So can someone give me a thumbs up? You see the Asana screen? Yep. Okay. So when you go in here, you should see on the left-hand column, the option obviously for home, my task, inbox. Some of these features you're going to notice we don't use because we're currently using the free version of the platform. If we reach a point where we think that, upgrading to a paid version will really benefit us, then certainly we'll review and make that decision. But right now,
we gotta bring in a lot more money for that.
Exactly. Right now, because of the size of our team, and it's all cyclical, Josh. We'll get Asana to manage our projects, to get us in line. We'll eventually make money. It's all gonna happen. But you will notice that some of the features you can't use. But honestly, so far I've found it to be super helpful with the features that we do have access to. So I mention that because I know portfolios and goals are two of the features that we won't use. But again, this isn't our real jobs. We don't need to measure your goals, and we're not here to monitor your tasks. This is really meant to be a workflow project management system for us to use to really balance everything that we're working on. So you'll come in here, you'll see home, you'll see my task, you'll see inbox. Inbox is something that I check a couple times a day because it's basically anything that I'm tagged in or anything that relates to me that has my name tag. It's going to tell me what to do. So I can go in here and see, and then I can quickly respond to those items. You can set up your notifications based on your settings. You would go up here to the far right-hand corner. And if you go to my profile settings, you can upload a photo, or you're welcome to leave it as your initials, however you choose. Put in your name, your title, any of this information. Notifications is something you'll want to make sure that each of you look at and see and set the notifications based on what you prefer. So for a while, I was getting an email for every single activity update, and I would look at my MIT email inbox and I had 30 Asana messages. Thanks, Anita. So I went in and I changed it to just a daily summary. So I get a daily summary of everything that's happening, any due dates that I've set for myself, any due dates that someone on my team has. So it's just a good daily summary. That's what I suggest most of you will probably want to do, unless you want to get that email every single time there's an update. That's the main thing under profile settings. Again, it's just kind of customizing your profile here, and then notifications. None of the other things are really necessary. Oh, you can change your background if you like. I like to keep mine simple. But other than that, those are going to be the primary things under settings. There is an app you're welcome to download to your smartphone if you choose. That's not required. We do ask and require that everyone start using this going forward, but you're not required to have it on your phone. You're not required to, be on 24/7 by any means. So there is an app if you want it. You can download it. Back over to the left-hand side column, there's favorites. So you can, if you're on multiple teams, if you're working on multiple projects at once and you want quick access to those right here, you would just star them and they'd be listed under favorites. And then the main area is going to be teams. So for most of you, you should have two teams. One will be the calendar, and then one will be the team that pertains to your position. Teams are broken up, obviously based on, and I'm going to send you to a little quick guide of terminology and some quick guidelines and quick references to get you started. But teams basically encompass the different area within millennials in travel. So let's use, for example, Elizabeth. You've got relations and advocacy. She's got Josh and herself on the team. I'm on the team just because I'm operations and general. I don't know, I'm just there. I'll probably back out of it eventually, but I'm there right now. So the team, your team members are basically going to be the stakeholders that are involved with that kind of individual division within Millennials in Travel. On the same regard, if you look under FAMS, for example, you'll see myself and you'll see Anina, but you're also going to see the communications team because they're heavily involved in obviously promoting the FAMS. So each team is essentially going to be those, like I said, those stakeholders that are involved with each program. Benefits, you've got Kate, you've got Kim. You might see Josh and I on most of the teams just as like a general kind of operations. And then once you're within each of your teams, that's where you will create projects. These are going to vary from team to team. My suggestion is, to create a project for the overall task. So if we use the example of RepFest April 2022 or 2022, 2021, you've got within that project the different related tasks. So MIT is an official presenter. We're on a panel during RepFest, so we're officially participating in that. It's an initiative that Elizabeth sought out and is working on, and then these are all the tasks that are associated with that particular project. So for example, if you go into dedicated email, you're also going to find that there are going to be subtasks for that task. And once you're within those tasks, you can actually tag certain people as well. So eventually, we actually started doing all of the RepFest stuff before we merged to Asana. So this one isn't as built out as it would be normally, but you might see Michelle tagged in this task because of course she's the one that's going to be doing social media for that project. You can view things in a number of different ways. So right now we're looking at the list version, but when you go into each project, you'll see an overview. And this is up to the team, how they want to, list any information here based on the individual project. And then you can view it as a list, so more like a task list, or you can view it as a board. So depending on if you're a visual learner, I personally like the boards, but it can depend on the team or on the project that you're working on, I should say, how you want to view it. Timeline isn't something we'll use. Calendar, you might use that, but I think list and board are going to be the main ones. And then the last tab up along the top here that you'll use would be files, and any files that you attach will be here. Let me just show you another example of a team that's built out a little bit more. Anina and I have started using this for FAMS, so you'll see all the past, present, and future FAMs. I've created.
I just want to interject.
Yeah.
This seems so much more complicated than what it actually is.
Yeah.
It's super intuitive. Like the way, like I've played around with it, and it's like it's fun. It's super easy. It's like it is super user friendly. I think looking at it like now,
it's like overwhelming.
Explaining it, it's like, oh my gosh, like now I have to do these. Like it's not like that.
No, it isn't. It's really simple. And like I have 10 teams here, you'll have 2. So obviously like it's a little bit more straightforward in that regard too. But just to kind of show you some of the features that you can do, and then you can go in and kind of play around with your team and your own settings. If you look, for example, at the Dallas FAM, we use the board layout for this one. We've got the to-do items, the things that are in progress, and the tasks that are complete. So FAMS is obviously a team there's a lot of steps and a lot of projects involved with each FAM. So, you're going to see a lot on this list. That's not going to be the case for everything. And then the only other team that everyone should have access to, so it'll be your individual team, and then the other one is calendar. And just to give you an overview of what the calendar is, this should be basically just, I thought I had an overview here. Oh wait, maybe it's here, sorry. This is what the calendar is to be used for. So communications to our database. So as we know in the past, we've discussed this, we can only send one communication to our database per week. So we got to take into consideration the newsletter, any event invitations, any FAM invites, and any other promotions we're doing, like our general like RepFest promotion. So it tracks those so that we know. I can look ahead and say, okay, Caitlin and her team are going to send a newsletter in 3 weeks, so I need to plan to send out, a Chicago event invite based on that. It also is to track our official events, so any national, virtual, or chapter events, and then also any industry events that we are actually an official partner in, that we're officially participating in. So RepFest, for example, would be one, but not all travel industry events, just the ones we're participating in. And that just helps to keep everyone on the same page in terms of like what we're officially doing and the communications we're officially sending out. That's pretty much it. Like I said, I just wanted to do a quick overview. If once you get in and start playing around with it, if you have any questions, let me know. And like I said, I will send a quick kind of overview and some tips and things that I put together. But oops, other than that, that's it. Any
Yeah, so
questions?
it is super intuitive. Tagging, like you might be tagged in something that's
Mhm.
not within your team, but then you have access to that. But I think that, you know, teams are each of the roles at a national manager level, and then projects are the projects that we're working on, and then the tasks, which have dates and whatnot. And then I think attaching the files as well, whether it's images or logos or whatever we need. I think it's just going to be all in one concise way.
It'll completely cut down on emails. Yeah, any attachments that you want to send. For example, you know, Elizabeth, when we're sending out the communication, the emails for RepFest, you could attach the logos, you could attach links to other websites, and then you can tag Jessica, you can tag Michelle. So you flag and assign the task to people that it's applicable to. As Josh said, it's really intuitive. Once you get in and start using it, you'll really get the hang of it. And then I have this just a couple quick things that I will, we'll just highlight here. Just this terminology. So when you see when you hear or see these terms like Asana team, that refers to like the division or the program within Millennials in Travel, right? So like FAMs or benefits or advocacy and relations. Team members, those stakeholders that are involved in each team. So for FAMs, it's Anina and myself. For benefits, it's going to be Kim and Kate. Asana project is obviously the MIT project you're working on. So that would be like the one FAM or the one event that we're participating in. And then underneath that project is where you have subtasks. So those are or I should say tasks. Sorry, that should just be tasks. So that's like the benchmark tasks that are associated with each project. And then under those tasks, you can have subtasks. So if a task is to send an invite, there's going to be some subtasks required before you can just send out the invite, right? Like I said, it's going to be, you know, used differently for each team and for each individual. But just go in and start playing with it and let me know if you have any questions. Michelle, is there anything that you might want to add, like any great tips or tricks or pointers that we should take into consideration since you've been using it the longest?
Sorry, my connection's going in and out, but so I hear some of it.
Okay.
One thing, when someone assigns you a task, you can check it off once you're done. So that's kind of like a good way to let the other person know that it's
Good
done.
reminder.
And yeah, even if you say you assign the task to me, but you want Caitlin to know about it, you just can tag her in the task itself. So then other people can see it and it's not just me, if that makes sense. But yeah, like Monica said, you know, the best way is just to get in there. Once you kind of get in there and start playing with it, you don't want to use anything else. So that's my advice as well.
Yeah, I think one
It's
thing,
true, totally true.
one thing was we were trying to figure out if you can assign a task to more than one person, and you can't. It's just one
No.
person.
And then you can subtask another, like if you want them, or you just put a comment and at Caitlin, at anyone else, and then they'll all see the task.
That's what I've been doing. I haven't been assigning, or like I've just been adding at whatever. If I want them to be aware of what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah, it's two different things. Like if there's a task that someone else needs to actually do, you can assign a task to them. But if I'm assigning, you know, something to Michelle to post on social media, in the comments section below, I might say, you know, at Caitlin FYI or something. Yeah, so you can use it different ways. But yeah.
If someone isn't a part of a team, do they see it or no?
No.
No,
They have to be invited to the project.
Unless if they're tagged in it,
tagged, yes.
Okay,
then they can.
got it.
Mhm.
I see that there's different areas for tasks, so you can like create tasks within that project, and then on the top left of the homepage, it's a My Tasks kind of area. Are we using the My Tasks on the top left? Or are we?
I think that's a filter that allows you to see like what tasks
Yeah, where you're tagged in.
you've been like are
Okay.
associated with you. I think those are just filtering. Then I think you can see like where like what's upcoming for my tasks,
Mhm.
what things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Carolyn, and I'm trying to like, I can't even, it won't let me add a task from that screen. So you would just add the tasks under your actual team.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's basically like a calendar. Like say you're going in and you want to see what you have. So all my tasks up until like May, I can see anything I've assigned to myself or added in our social media calendar. I can actually see it.
Yeah, if you look, yeah, exactly. Look on the calendar tab and you'll see like all the tasks here. I'll show you guys just so you can see what Michelle is talking about. Oh dear, sorry.
This is a neat little portal, or
I know,
what would you call it?
I was saying I love how it's so like positive
Colorful.
looking, like aesthetically
Oh, yeah.
positive.
And when you
rather than-
complete a task, there's like a
Yeah.
flying unicorn that goes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
rather than just like a dumb Excel
yay, me.
spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Michelle. This is the calendar you were talking about, right?
Yes, and you can
Mhm.
also see it in lists because some people, want to see it. But yeah, it just shows you like up ahead, like what's coming up if you want to see today or.
Yeah, it's weird. Mine doesn't
Yeah.
show them here,
Oh.
but when I go and make, I don't know why. I was wondering, but when I go in here, I can see like all the things that I've tasked to myself, basically.
How do you make it like color coordinated like that?
Oh, so that I think is associated with over
you get to
here.
pick-
With the teams, yes.
Yeah, see these colors?
Oh,
So you
When
can
you
change
create
the
a
colors.
project, you pick what color you want.
gotcha.
Mhm. You can pick colors, you can pick icons as well. So like you can change this icon. See that? So you can do
okay.
like a star and you can make it purple or okay, whatever.
Very
Cool.
color.
And change it. So again, those are fun customization features that you can change within your team as long as you and your teammates can agree on the colors and icons.
Yeah.
Or it looks like you can set it just for yourself too. Anyways, yeah, that's just some of the fun features. I think hopefully that's a good brief overview. Down the road, I don't know if there's other features maybe that we're not using. Michelle, I think I noticed on one of yours you were using like tag things like
Yes.
certain themes. I don't know. I'm just gonna find, where did I put your
In the
your-
calendar, yes. So
Yeah.
the calendars can get a little crazy.
all that.
Yeah. And so let's see if I can.
You have
just-
like this tag, right?
if you go, so let's just click on one that's already color coordinated. If you
Okay, just tell me one.
so the one today's the 5th. So promote RepFest.
Okay.
Okay. So then if you go to the 3 dots at the top right,
Mm-hmm.
and you click down, do you see add tags?
Yeah.
I've created kind of, these are for social media only, so I can continue to add, but it's just for us, or, unless I make a key, no one else will know. But for me to kind of see it visually, like, okay, all the green is MIT fams and people or this or events. So that's just for me personally. You can add
Okay.
it to your calendar as well, but it won't combine with mine, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Might not be something that everyone needs, but because the social media and like newsletter, like our communications team, as we've said in the past, is like basically involved with everything that we do. So that's a way for you to kind of organize it within, to like designate what part of
Yeah,
the
what
organization.
part of social? Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I guess that would be it for now. Oh, one other thing. Yes, as you can see up here, you can attach things. So for example, in FAMs, like if you need to send think one of these has the attachments, right, Anina? I'm trying to remember which one. Well, you can attach things, and then you will see actually all the attachments are here. They're all compiled here in one place under files, but they're attached to like individual tasks in here as well. Here, probably this one. Yeah, so they're attached here. So one of her tasks was collect all the signed release forms from participants, and she's added and saved them here. And then that kind of segues into the next topic for internal organization, which is our transition from Dropbox to Google Drive. But it's good to have them here. Any attachments, any documents that are related to the task, it's good to put them in there. And then again, that might be logos, that might be actual documents, whatever it is, and they're always there. All right, that's a good overwhelming 101. Carolyn, did you have a question?
I did. Can you duplicate a project? So like
Yeah.
with the, okay, that's good.
Yeah, it is really good, especially Carolyn, you and I will soon be meeting to talk about kind of some chapter strategies. And I think, you know, when it comes to like the chapter events, for example, it's great. I'm sharing my screen again, right? Yep. It's great to create a template of a project and then be able to just duplicate it. So if you look under FAMs again, I've created a template for planning each FAM. So these are all the steps involved with planning and executing a FAM. So when Anina confirms a new FAM, she just has to duplicate this here and then name it whatever the FAM is. Let's say it's called Turks and Caicos. So yeah, you can do that. And you can duplicate actual tasks. So yeah, it cuts down and saves work.
Awesome.
Any other questions? No? Okay. So like I said, just go in there, start playing with it. I'll send you kind of some quick reference, some quick guidelines to follow. But other than that, it's, you know, intended to be a tool for you to use. So let's see.
I have
Sorry,
another
I
question.
realized we've already taken up too much time. Yeah, Carolyn? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I
No,
can save it
no,
for
go ahead.
later if there's more on the agenda.
No, go ahead.
How many calendar groups are there, and I'm a part of one calendar group, and I'm noticing it's about FAM invitations.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's
the
just one
invitation.
calendar, and how about I'll connect with you. You and I are gonna have a call this week, and I'll kind of
Yeah.
give you a more in-depth overview.
Okay.
But there should just be the one calendar that shows any email communications we send out, any FAMs, and any official MIT events and or industry events that we're participating in.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if there's multiple calendars or what.
No,
Okay.
just
So
the one calendar.
She might be confused because when you're in your own category, like let's say
Oh, yeah.
FAMs,
Yeah.
you can see it as a list board or calendar. So there's one main calendar for the whole team on MIT that everyone will have access to. And then when you have your own little folder or team, you're going to be able to see it however you want.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you. Yes. So within your team, like she said, you can view it as like a task list, or you can view it as boards, or you can view it as a calendar. So yes, you would have a calendar within your own team. And no, you
Got it.
can't merge. You can't merge. We've already addressed that. They're like, wow, that would be great if we could see everything on one calendar, but you can't. So don't ask. It's not possible.
Thanks.
All right. So just real quick on Google Drive, we're migrating from Dropbox. Dropbox is done, so you won't find anything you need on. I mean, you will, but it's a mess. Everything's been moved over to Google Drive. Josh, do you want to share with everyone a little bit like how they're going to access that or the files they need? Because is it not even the national team will have access to it, correct? It'll just
To what?
Google Drive, all the files on the Google Drive.
I mean, everyone that has a link will have access to it.
Okay, they can of course access the documents, but no one will go in like we do and just edit.
I mean, I don't think anybody needs to.
Okay.
I can, let me see.
I think the idea is to use Asana to save things. So like Anina's been saving in there, like the signed release forms, for example. If anyone has any like documents that, that pertain, if Kim has an agreement with away luggage on an exclusive benefit, she'll save it in Asana and attach to the appropriate task. The Google Drive will now be obviously just housing the documents, but when you need to access the documents that you need, instead of like opening up Dropbox and looking for a document, you're going to go to our newly created, as you see here, leadership landing page on our website.
So it is password protected, and I just need to figure out the primary page. It's kind of still saying exclusive benefit. So it is password protected. Not everything is linked because we need to link it to Google, but this is what the page will look like. If you have any suggestions or things that you think you need to access, we can easily add it. But basically the top two are going to be the email login, which is going to be removed from the footer. And then the Asana project management, again, linking, those are the two main things that you'll probably be accessing. For chapters, we have everything that the chapters would need. So these are going to link directly to documents that they can download. These are all hosted on Google, or event creation how-to videos, submission forms. We have some general stuff like the MIT logo, Google Photo Library, content submission. So if somebody wants to like promote something, FAM documents, organizational documents. So like roles, the organogram, we have bylaws, operating manual once it's done.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically it.
Basically, it'll just be everything's moved online.
Yeah. So instead of going into, we can't give access to Google folders without people signing in. And once people sign in, they tend to not sign out, and then things get convoluted. Like Kate's pictures from her iPhone end up in Dropbox, which happened one time because she didn't sign out. And so we just want to avoid all of that. And so I think we're linking to actual documents, which you can view. You can't edit it, but most of these, if it does need to be edited, it's going to be a Word document that you can then download. So if it's a hotel hosting template, the chapter officers can download it, make the modifications, and then send it off.
I think it'll make like clear sense once it's up and running and done. So that's something we'll be working on in the next couple of weeks, and then basically get a login to this hidden landing page.
It's just a pass. Yeah, it's leadership. Right now it's leadership 21.
Okay.
And so it's on the, we go to the bottom MIT leadership page. And then what is it? Oh, I think because I'm already logged in. Yeah. I'll send instructions to everybody. It's just going to be really concise, and then we don't need to do like all these different platforms. It's like mainly you're going to have like, if you want to do anything MIT, you're basically going to go to this, and then you can access everything from this one page. And again, if anybody needs anything, like they're like, oh, well, I want, they feel like they need to have access to something, or there's something we're missing, just send it off or create a task in Asana, and we'll get it up there.
Okay. And this will be for internal use for our officers and national leadership team. And then another landing page, kind of just segueing. That's it for me. I'm going to segue over to Josh if you have anything to add, and then we'll move on to everyone else. But I think another thing that you're working on as part of the strategic development is the forms and like basically creating surveys for whenever we need to gather information, like to promote something on social media. You'll be able to just like send a link to somebody and they can fill it out. So
right. So it's going to be, let me look in my tasks. or Zoho Forms.
So like if somebody is like, I'm interested in hosting, I'm with, Marriott Hotel,
Right.
and I'm interested in hosting a FAM, they can just fill out that instead of.
Well, it'll actually, I mean, we'll have a lot of stuff on the website. So whether it's, they're interested in providing an exclusive benefit, like there'll be a link on the website of like, are you interested in providing an exclusive benefit? Click here, and like it's a form, and then that'll go to Kim, and it'll just, I think it'll streamline a lot. So if there are forms also that you think or that you would like to have created for your roles, you can just kind of create a template or like in a Word document, like what
What you need on the form. Mhm.
what you need on the form. If you want to, if you know about form creation, so there's like check boxes where you can check however many you want. There's radio boxes where you have to select one. There's, Likert scales. There's a lot of different types of content collection.
Fill in the blank,
Whether it's
whatever it is. Yeah.
numbers or but I mean, if you can kind of like in parentheses like what you're looking for, it should be pretty easy to do. The only thing is that because we're moving away from Email Me Form and moving over to Zoho Form, it's just going to take a little bit longer because we haven't really done a lot with Zoho Forms. But hopefully that will then also help integrate everything with our CRM. So like we will know, Betty Davis has applied to like all of these FAMs because it's all connected within Zoho Forms and the CRM. So I think we'll be able to gain a lot more intelligence and data from the integration of all of these forms and Zoho.
Great. Thanks, Josh. Anything else that you want to add? And then we'll move on to next will be Elizabeth had to leave. Zach, I'm not sure if you have anything to share. And then on from there to communication. So Josh or Zach, anything else to share?
I don't have any updates at this time.
Okay, no problem.
No, I mean, just kind of, I think we're in that spring cleaning deal, between like our banking system closing March 31st and having to change over all of that. There's been a lot of forced changes, but I think it's all good and we'll be able to streamline things and get things done easier.
Okay. Caitlin, I'll turn things over to you and Jessica and Michelle for an update from communication.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing the promotions for Rep Fest and the FAMs. Thank you so much, Nina, for all your hard work with all that stuff. It's been really incredible. For everyone's knowledge, the April newsletter is going to go out on April 20th. So we are going to start phasing things over to Asana, like we said. So Jess and I are going to keep that Excel newsletter strategy that we have just for our kind of back-end usage, but moving forward, we want everybody, if they want to contribute to the newsletter, to go ahead and do it in Asana, which is why I was asking earlier if you guys would see that, because Jess and I are already working on a current project for April newsletter, but now I know you guys don't see that. So Jess and
Caitlin,
I will at you guys.
Do we want to, we can do also like a very quick like form for that as well that can be on that page.
That's a thought. Yeah, I mean, that's a thought. Whatever, I don't know, because I guess it's whatever is easiest for you guys, like whatever will be the quickest and will encourage participation.
We could also, for each newsletter strategy, like I'm looking at your April one right now and it says like the different tasks associated with the newsletter. So like the first task you could add here and do it subsequently for all newsletters would be to gather content. And then I think if you tag everyone in that, right, Michelle, like will everyone get a notification just on that task? Okay. Yeah. So,
yeah. And I figured like, since it looks like you can add files and links and images or whatever you want to do, you can just do it all right there. And then that way Jess and I will see it and then we'll use it, however we see fit. So, yeah, so just for everyone's knowledge, we're thinking, well, we know it's gonna be April 20th, and we were thinking maybe like an Earth Day theme. Because it's gonna be Earth Day on April, like shortly after we send it out. So just something to think about if you come across anything fun in that theme, and we're gonna work on that. So that's pretty much it for me. So if Michelle and Jess, if you guys have anything I'm forgetting, I know, but feel free to share on your end.
I would just say one thing that we're going to switch up for April is the format of the member spotlight, which I think is kind of fun. We're going to do more of like a Q&A style interview instead of just a, type of bio. So yeah, so that'll be exciting. I think it'll be a little bit more engaging and interesting for readers.
Yeah, and also reaching out to not just leadership, but people who are members.
Yes. Awesome. That's great. And I think too, as you migrate out of using a spreadsheet and over to Asana, you'll find like you can, especially like, because I'm visualizing what was on the spreadsheet, like you can use like the board layout within the tasks to like kind of organize it the same. And obviously Michelle's an expert on it. She can kind of give you some tips and tricks on that, but I'm happy to do it as well if you want to like jump on a call and just kind of talk about different ways to use it so that you don't have to use so many different platforms to keep yourself organized.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
Yeah, thanks, Jess. Did you have anything, Michelle?
I don't have,
she's a well-oiled machine over there.
Yeah.
One thing that did come up when Josh and I were on a call this morning is what if we come across something in general that we think we should put on our social media? How do we bring that to your awareness, Michelle? Like, what's the best way? Like, if I'm not part of the social media or the communications team, like, and maybe it doesn't even relate to my own team, like let's say I'm a Nina, but I see something really great going on in our industry that has nothing to do with FAMs and it has nothing to do with my team. What should I do to like?
That's actually happened a lot, and I tend to get emails to social. But I think the whole idea now is to kind of move it to forms. If it's something that we know in advance, right? But if it's something that you see and you think is great, then I would say an email is the best thing. If it's, something fast, of course, you don't need to fill out a form. It just, I might not see it right away, but an email I think is best, if not the form.
Okay.
Do we want to extend that to chapter officers as well? Like put that form on, the leadership page. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, anyone who has any ideas or sees things, like the more the merrier, all is welcome. And I might see something that, I might not think of. So I love when people say, even if they think of something. So I'm happy to see anything that's sent my way.
Cool.
Yeah, I think the broader reach of input we get, the better, because we don't want it to just, be the voice of us or of Michelle or, what's happening in LA. We want it to obviously be representative of the whole organization. So, okay, cool. Let's see. Next, Kate, any updates from you?
Not really. Just kind of waiting to work through Zoho. Josh, we need to connect on that eventually, but nothing really for the team.
Well, we have lost someone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh my God, sorry. I've had a day. Claire is sadly no longer with us so we are putting it back out there. I don't know if anyone knows of anyone that wants to join at the national.
Maybe remind everybody what Claire's role was as well.
So she was working on like professional development, which is really just, helping. That also reminds me, we were going to put something under the professional development tab on the website with some trainings and things like that. So it's really just kind of, traditionally it was job board. Hasn't been a lot of jobs. So we were kind of pivoting when she joined for people who do want to increase their knowledge, do trainings. We already have a very extensive list of destination trainings, but kind of need to be cleaned up and maybe add some new ones. But Claire was focusing mostly on like IATA trainings and other kind of corporate trainings, things like that. So she had put together a pretty good list, which was one thing she was able to do. But she's just kind of pivoted in another direction and just wasn't really the best fit. So right now it's really just kind of, reaching out and hopefully in the future, liaising with companies that do want to come to MIT to look for talent, being proactive about it and kind of, talking with our social and website ladies and making sure that it gets updated and maintained and all those things. So that's the long-term prospect for.
Kate, you bring up a good point in that, we as an organization can act as a resource. And is there some way in which, I don't know, is there a platform, or is there, maybe this is like through social media, like a sub LinkedIn category, something where those that are furloughed, unemployed, myself being one of them, that we're designated as being, passionate professionals, millennials that are in the travel industry and looking for jobs. And maybe it's a matter of, I don't know, can we create like how you see on LinkedIn and it's like the green circle or something is like open to opportunity
Open
or
to
something.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there's something that we can do that is an overlay, but it's like also kind of self-promoting. So like, millennial and travel looking for a job, or open, like, I don't know. But I think we are a network and a database that people can come to. And if we can somehow have some type of indication from our members of who is looking for jobs, it might be a little bit easier, and it'll help us as a brand, but then also it'll help the members. And we always have to say, like, is what we're doing going to help the membership? That it is, then yes, we need to kind of put some energy towards it.
Yeah. And I mean, in that same vein, like, I've seen people post, and I got my first job in travel through seeing a Facebook post on MIT's Facebook page. So like things like that, but also like coming from the members themselves who are looking, not just companies posting that there's an opening. So it kind of
Right.
back and forth.
Like, I wonder if there's like a subgroup or something on LinkedIn or something that we can create of like, hey, if you're unemployed and you're millennial in travel and you're unemployed, maybe there's another category. I don't know. Anybody else have any thoughts? It's super late here, so I'm like, my brain's kind of tired.
Yeah, I know we're running over. So
I mean, I think ultimately, like, if we develop like that platform that where we've discussed, Josh, where it's actually like a platform on our phones that people are part of, and
that's super
like way
long
down
ways
the road.
away.
So
Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't have an.
I mean, I don't know if
Like-
we could do like a social poll, like who's unemployed and looking for work, and then we aggregate that data some way. And like, I don't know.
Yeah, we won't get that much.
I think it's like we need to kind of take it offline and to focus more on it, really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do too much on social media, but like maybe we create some even a Facebook subgroup of like actively looking, like millennials in travel that are actively looking for jobs, and then we invite like people, suppliers that are looking for jobs to that group to kind of like look at everybody that's available in our group that is looking for a job, or
a
that's
chat
the
on
one.
LinkedIn, like the same thing on LinkedIn instead of Facebook.
Yeah.
It'd be more like a LinkedIn thing. It's something definitely to think of. We obviously need someone in that position first before we can take on a project like that. And I think that position, I'll just add to what Kate said, like, yeah, historically it's just been like managing our job board. And then what Claire did was basically like created a list so that we could have like be basically an aggregate for all these professional development and learning resources and opportunities. But I think like that position has like endless potential, and along with benefits, it's one way where we can actually really provide value to members by, culminating the list of these resources to really help people grow professionally. So it needs definitely somebody that, will kind of take it, see what it is, what we've done, and take it to the next level. So keep in mind if you think of anyone. And then Kim, again, just joining us for the first time this week, so we won't put you on the spot, but I know you have a lot of good ideas and things that you're working on. Along that note, if anyone does think of ideas, please reach out to Kim directly with those ideas.
Her email is
benefits@millennialsandtravel.com. And then wrapping up here is Anina and Carolyn. So Anina, I know you have a lot to share with us on FAM, so over to you, please.
Hey guys. So I just thought I'd give you a little run through all the FAMs that we have planned and that are in the pipeline. So we obviously had our first one in Charleston, which was great. The next one that comes up is with Virgin Hotels in Nashville, which is April 20th to 22nd. And Monica is actually hosting that one. Then the next one is pretty quickly after that, which the application is ending this week, end of week. And that's with Virgin Hotels in Dallas. I just wanted to also check with Zach really quickly if you were able to figure out if you could host this one in Dallas or not.
Because of the hours, I don't think I'll be able to host. Because when are some of the activities? It's like an afternoon.
So they plan, I don't have the exact timing of the days. I can find out. There's one offsite activity, right? So other than that, it's more breakfast and then the dinners. So
I'll be able to attend some of it, but I won't be able to like be the actual host, I don't think, because of my job.
okay. Does anybody else from the leadership, is anybody else interested in hosting that particular one? Again, the dates are May 4th through 6th in Dallas.
Just contact Anina if you are.
just email me if you want.
And hosting is relatively simple. We have a really clear kind of layout of the guidelines and what's entailed in hosting. But yeah, this was designed as an opportunity for our leadership team to be able to get these experiences. Not all of us are travel advisors and have these complimentary travel experiences offered to us all the time. So it's a great opportunity for anyone to go and again wear the hat as the Millennials and Travel representative and sort of just be the point person on the ground and just prior to the FAM and primarily coordinating the social media details like Janelle did when she did that IG takeover during the Charleston FAM. And then writing a short blog and a report after the FAM. So that's all that's entailed. And then you obviously get to go and experience the FAM alongside the rest of the participants. So keep in mind, but I'll let you go through the rest of the FAMs that we have on the calendar.
Cool. So then the next one we have is June 14th through the 18th in Turks and Caicos. I'm actually going to host that one, which is in partnership with Lush Experiences and two of their properties, the Palms and the Shore Club. And then I wanted to ask the digital and so Jessica, Caitlin, and Michelle, because we have another opportunity to do a FAM in San Francisco towards the end of June or beginning of July. But before I'm going to go ahead, I wanted to kind of see what your guys' feels are in regarding workload, because I know obviously you guys are really involved in all of it. So and you can also shoot me an email if you want afterwards. It doesn't have to be right now, but I just wanted to kind of get your feedback first before I'm going ahead.
I mean, off the top of my head, I think I say we just go for it and we'll figure it out. But I don't want to speak for Michelle and Jess on that, but Michelle and Jess and I meet on Wednesdays. So maybe after Wednesday, we'll have a clearer answer for you.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, no.
Yeah, we've just been trying to keep it to like one FAM per month so that
yeah, I mean,
my
gut
consistency going and not overload anyone. But this would be just a quickie 2-night San Francisco with Taj.
Yeah,
that we
I mean, my gut reaction is that it'll be fine. If anything, I feel Anina, if you're okay with the FAM overload.
I checked with her first. I'm like, hold on, because we don't want to overload anyone.
How many people is it for?
We didn't even get into these details yet, so it's really.
I do want to say that the FAMs are helping us financially, as well, because we're not, that's our only revenue stream right now. And not to say that, like, I obviously don't want to burden like people, but you know, people aren't really getting buying memberships. So the FAMs are our only revenue stream right now. So if we can do it, I would say let's do it, because
Yeah.
it's really helping
Yeah.
I
our
say go for it.
I'm fine doing it. Yeah, it's an easy one. It's a straightforward one. I feel like I got the hang out of it now. Like it's harder at the beginning when I didn't know exactly what I had to do, but now I feel like I'm really, and Monica and me were really, I feel like we talk like a
We're a good
lot.
machine now. Yeah, we're a well-oiled machine.
And I mean, the other thing is that we can also turn, like, whoever's hosting it, we can turn over the responsibilities a little bit sooner than I think what has been done in the past. And so, like, as soon as things are like done, like all the collection of the information from the participants, like that really should be on the host of the FAM. And so if we can turnkey this even more, I mean, if we could do 2 a month, if like, I mean, if we can, let's do it.
Yeah, let's start with this one because, okay, so that's fine. So I will leave it, so you guys can discuss on Wednesday. Let's do that. Then you can get back to me. But anyways, this one would be towards the end of June or beginning of July. And then we have our next one that is confirmed for July 22nd through 25th, which is Los Cabos, Le Blanc, which we already have a host. And that's again with Lush Experiences and their hotel. And the host will be Amy for this one. And then in the pipeline, we have 2 FAMs with Bennett and Mercado Hospitality, which I'm still waiting for the dates, but it's probably going to be September and November. We have another one with the Belmont La Samana on St. Martin, which Elizabeth has approached me with, and that one depends a little bit on when the other FAMs are, but it could be either December or November. We have another one with Experience Scottsdale, again, depending on what the dates look like, we will piece that one in. And that really concludes this year. I have not another one that could be potential with Accor properties, but I have no details to that for that one yet. And there is another one that actually Elizabeth sent to me, which again was just like reaching out. But I think what we should probably kind of start thinking about is a little bit more the international trips for next year already, because I feel like those will take a little bit more time to put together with all the different pieces. So if you guys have any ideas or, you know, any leads, please let me know. And then I can, you know, start wrapping my head around that one because I feel like I need a little bit more time for that.
I'm actually starting to see a lot of governments working with influencers on like filming of things now and putting it out there to try to get in a little bit earlier than other destinations. So I think that the international I think influencers are probably usually like the first to come back, and then it's going to be like travel trade. So we're like on the cusp, and I would say probably within like in about 2 months, there's probably going to be a lot of international opportunities for the last half of the year, to be honest. But we can only do what we can manage. So let's.
And I think for now we are pretty much filled out, right? For this year, I would say, and then maybe we can slot that in starting with January. And then the other question I had for you, Josh, is with MailChimp, with the
It's
segment.
Camp, MailChimp.
Is it really?
No,
Are you
it's from
messing with me? That's not.
it's from the Serial podcast. The advertisement.
That's funny. Anyways, I was wondering about the segmenting because I think we had only travel agents in that one. However, not for the Turks and Caicos, but the one for the Mexico one, after that, they want actually one person from media. So just to.
We can do that.
Okay.
Should we send it just to our entire database, Josh, or no? We would segment within our entire database probably.
No,
Yeah.
we know we can, we'll figure it out.
It'll be so much easier when we move to Zoho templates. Then it'll be-
We stopped the date, we stopped the Excel spreadsheet 9 months ago.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna have to do some export, re-import, tagging. We'll see how it goes.
Anina, just give a deadline for Josh as to when we need that segment
Okay,
ready
yeah,
by.
that one, that one is not for, that's not until the Cabo one, so, yeah.
Yeah, we want to allow plenty of time, make sure we have it done.
Okay, up until the next 2 weeks, I'm like, my thesis is
fine.
due in 2 weeks, and I'm like,
That's fine. It'll probably be like later in the month. or
Yeah, it's after that, yeah. So yeah, so that's really the plan for
That's
now.
it, huh? You're doing an awesome job. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
mhm.
awesome.
And if anyone has, as she said, if anyone has, lead or opportunities, if anyone's like, hey, what is this MIT FAM situation? I want to get involved, just send those opportunities to Anina. So just to wrap up, Carolyn, I know we need to touch base and kind of get back on track and caught up to speed. Is there anything that you want to add before we end our night? Sorry, guys, that we went over so much.
I have no specifics, just sorry that I've kind of been MIA for the past few weeks because like we all are busy. I've literally been doing a lot of different jobs, and I might even have a position open at American here in Seattle for my support. So I'll definitely, which will be great. So I'll definitely keep you all involved on if and when that gets posted so we can blast it out to millennials and travel. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to connecting with you, Monica, and maybe even in person, which is exciting.
Yeah. Great.
So yeah, no real updates.
Cool.
Just
Well,
hello.
hopefully by next month, Carolyn and I are going to have a bit of a strategy laid out for each of our chapters. I can tell you that I did just do a reorg with the LA chapter. Marianne is no longer in her position of Officer of Development, and I think Jessica Rosen is going to fulfill that role. And then we're bringing on Kara Foster, who's with Smart Flyer, based out of Los Angeles, and Priscilla Padilla, who's with American Express, but she was previously with the Los Angeles Tourism Convention Bureau. So she knows the city really well. She knows the hotels really well. So that'll be really, I think, valuable to us as the LA chapter restarts in-person events later this year. Our goal is to hopefully, across all chapters, try to reignite in-person events around June. So Carolyn and I have a lot of work to do with the chapters. And for those of you, in LA particularly, we'll really, want your support to kind of help reignite things in LA. It's always been our strongest city and our strongest chapter, and kind of gone dormant. So I'll definitely be looking to you, Caitlin, and the rest of the team to kind of give a little extra support since I'm no longer physically there and Josh isn't there. And then the other chapters, Chicago has an event that they put together that'll be for April 28th. So save the date for that. A virtual event in partnership with a small collection of some of the Four Seasons hotels. The theme is going to be sustainability in honor of Earth Day. And I know one of the activities they're planning is a sustainable tie-dye activity. So along with some great hotel presentations. So other than that, New York, wants to do their in-person event. I'm gonna push them off just a little bit longer because I think we're so close when it comes to the pandemic and starting events again. And while we want to be at the forefront, we want to be the innovators. We want to be the people that are doing things first. We want to be mindful of the optics of that and how it's going to be perceived and our liability in that. So it's just a really fine balance between when do we restart our in-person events. So I'm hopeful that I think June seems to be a safe timeline for things. If anyone has any input on that, you can contact me at any time. But other than that, that is all that I had for tonight. Anything else? Anyone?
I'm so ready to travel and to meet you all in person. And I actually had my first big scene already, so I'm almost there.
Nice.
Yay, I'm getting my first shot on Wednesday. I'm so excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
goodness.
thanks, Monty, also for walking through Asana. That was really helpful.
Yeah, I know. So hopefully
Just to
we'll
make sure we're all on the same page.
go in and start playing with it. Again, the more you use it, the more it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
So just the more you put in, the more you're going to gain. All right. Well, if no one has anything else, then that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.